name is Alyssa.
And I'm Emily.
And you're listening to Slash and Slay, a horror podcast. Hi.
Happy Hunger Games.
Hunger Games.
Are you so excited?
I'm so excited, guys. First off, welcome to our 99th episode of Slash and Slay.
It's our last.
It's our last episode. We'll never get to 100.
99 episodes of Slash and Slay on the wall.
99 episodes of Slash and Slay. What if we just did that the whole episode?
Oh, for the 100th one, though.
Right.
Yeah, start at 100.
Yeah.
And then do it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to hear that? That would be a form of torture horror.
It is.
Yeah.
You just play it on a loop.
On a loop. Happy 99th episode and happy Hunger Games.
Yes, if you guys don't know.
And happy St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, all the things. Well, technically when they're listening to this, it's not St. Patrick's Day.
It's okay. It's still kind of.
But you guys are listening to this on the day of the release of Sunrise on the Reaping. Hunger Games book number 1 is how it's, right? It's part of the, now it's like the prequel trilogy, I think, is what it's going to be. So it's the second one. If we get it's going to be Finnick. It's got to be Finnick. I will kill myself.
Before I have to read that?
Yes.
We'll probably get introduced to Mad. Like, no.
Mags, Annie.
No.
On a more, like, before she...
Yeah, no thanks. Yeah, I'll kill myself.
It'll probably be like Annie's Games. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll just...
Annie and Finnick.
I don't hate myself that much. I'll just end my life before having to endure that.
I can't imagine. Who else would it be?
No, I'm about to end my life now thinking about poor Haymitch's games. Because I kind of forgot. Like, I knew Haymitch was, had his trauma moments. But when I reread the books, like a year and a half ago, and I think it's in Catching Fire, when they dig up the old footage of his games. And I'm like, that is fucked up.
Yeah, because there's double the amount of players.
Yes.
And
the way he, got his last kill.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to relive that. Thank you.
In full color this time.
Thank you, Suzanne Collins, for that.
I'm so excited, though.
I know.
We are going to a release party in, an hour, y'all.
Yeah. I'm not going to, if someone tries to talk to me, I'll just be like, please move. I just want the book, please.
Right. That's
Thank
all.
You.
That's all I really care about. Give me the book, and we're going.
Yeah, they're playing games and stuff, but, what kind of
I just want the book.
games would you play in the Hunger Games?
Yeah, besides...
What
if we get there and everyone's dead except for one person?
Oh, and then we'll win. By default.
No, they make us fight each other to the death.
We can eat berries.
True.
Do the berries.
Take ourselves out.
Yeah. I would be like, I'm going to eat this clearance chocolate from the Starbucks cafe. Mm-hmm. And they'll be like, no, stop. You can both win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be just like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what they really need? And I've said this, and I'll continue to say it.
Say it again.
They need a Hunger Games video game.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't they have that? You play it, you pick a district, you get your, then you're the tribute that's called. You put your name in,
Yeah.
You're the tribute that's called, and then it takes you through the whole process, and then you literally are in the games. Why don't they do that?
Yeah.
It could be either multiplayer or
I was trying to think, maybe it's
online.
Not, maybe it's a little insensitive because, it's horrible. But they have Call of Duty, and that's about a real war.
Yeah.
It's real. This
exactly.
is fictional.
Right.
Are you imagining one like Narnia-esque play? Or more like...
Well, in some ways, but I really feel like once you're in the game, it's literally a free-for-all.
Okay. Very open world.
Yes. And I think you can, it be kind of like the Until Dawn kind of video game before that, where it's you make choices that affect whether or not you will get stuff that you need.
Okay. Yeah. I think that would work very well. Or one where it's the you get like 2 choices, or like you get 3 choices or whatever. Like one of those, like choose your own adventure type. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah.
But like I think the Batman Arkham games are like that. But I think either of those would be really fun. Or they can make it like really fun and do like Mario Party.
Oh yeah.
And they're all just Mario characters.
Mario Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Well, what is that one?
Mario and Sonic at the Hunger Games.
What is that one where it's Battle Royale?
Yeah.
Yeah. Essentially what it is.
Oh, it could be like online. You know how they have like Marvel Rivals now? You could do Hunger Games. It could be Battle Royale online.
Yeah.
Get different skins. It could be like Fortnite.
Right. I think it's a great idea.
I think maybe this resurgence of the Hunger Games is the perfect time to do that.
I think so too.
But honestly, like I would go back and play it.
I would too. I would buy a
PlayStation 5
just to play it.
Yeah, do y'all hear that? Y'all hear that?
Not even kidding.
Sony? That's who has PlayStation, right?
Because there's that one Jurassic Park game.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if it's out yet. I'm pretty sure it is. And I said I would buy a PlayStation for that game, and I didn't. So.
Well, you will for that and Hunger Games. If there's 2.
If there's 2, obviously.
Then, yeah, of course. I feel like PlayStation 2, there would be like a movie's coming out, and there's the video game.
Yes, there's always a game associated with it.
Like, you wouldn't think Narnia would make that good of a video game, right? But made the best.
Sure does.
And
it's not frustrating at all.
No.
No, it's really only frustrating because I think the TV that I have is a high-def TV, and the game's obviously not made for high-def TVs. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's why things are hard to see. Like, we remember we ran around looking for that one little piece. Like, we could not find it anywhere.
Find it. Yeah. But it was, like, hidden behind something. And, you know, it's just the way that the game... That's just the way the cookie crumbles.
It is.
That's just the way the Narnia game is.
It just is the way
Narnia.
The arrow shoots.
Oh. I can't whistle. My lips are so dry from being ill. I'm a little congested. Why was that so loud?
Oh my gosh.
You just blew a lot of air.
Sorry, guys. Sorry for all the air you just heard from my mouth.
That's crazy. That was very loud.
Anyways, we're going to ignore that.
Do we have any predictions in the Hunger Games book? Let me guess.
Haymitch wins. I saw someone on TikTok said, she was like, I saw literally someone who got the book early post a spoiler that said Haymitch wins. And she was like, but then I remembered that I already knew that.
Oh.
And I kind of was mad too. Like, I saw that. I was like, I scrolled immediately. I was like, why are they posting spoilers? And then I went back. I was like, oh.
Yeah, we already all knew that. Oopsies. Sorry, forgot about that.
I don't really know. Like, what do you predict?
Did you see that quote that I sent you a picture of? Because I hadn't seen any quotes. I don't think. Yes. Had you seen that?
I hadn't. No, I saw something where Suzanne Collins was reading an excerpt, and I didn't want to.
No, I don't.
I didn't want to hear. I didn't want to know anything. So
I think we're gonna get some sad family backstory, and that's what I think is gonna hurt the most.
Yes,
because that's what hurts the most for me from Katniss.
Yeah,
too, is like her family, poor thing. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to know about Haymitch's mommy. I don't want to know about it.
Like, what made him...
Yeah, I don't want to know.
An alcoholic.
Yeah, I don't want to find out why he turned to alcohol.
Yeah.
But...
I mean, it's going to be pretty brutal.
I know.
That's all there is to it.
At least I wonder, like you're going to root for the main character. Unlike Songbirds.
Unlike Songbirds. Songbirds.
Songburps.
Songbirds.
Songbirds are song snakes.
Battleless of songbirds and song snakes.
What do you think of the new Hunger Games covers? Have you seen them?
I have. I like them.
Interesting. Yeah.
I really want to get into bookbinding, and I want to make my own. Like, I've seen TikToks and stuff of people doing it. It would be fun.
Yeah, we just need to buy one of those.
We have to buy a Cricut. We have to buy.
I have a Cricut.
You have a Cricut.
I have a Cricut. I have Canva Premium.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
But we need one of those. Oh, my dad has one of those holders that holds when you.
Oh yeah.
Like for the binding and stuff. Mm-hmm. We just need like the glue.
The glue, and like the paper and the cardboard or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think we could probably find online how to do it.
And I could probably like sit on the book for 24 hours.
Right.
Instead of using the binder.
Probably.
Yeah.
That'd work.
and just be like, Elsa, I gotta go pee. Your turn.
Right.
Bring me
It's,
some
you're
food.
just like an egg.
Yeah.
Just like
This is
a
my
little
egg.
bird.
This is my egg.
We should do it one day.
Okay.
For real.
I love crafts more than anything in this world. I wish I could just craft all day.
More than anything in this
I made this bracelet
world.
today.
Let me see. Your Irish bracelet.
Yeah, it's I was gonna make it. It's weird. It has a wire. I made it with wire instead of like a stretchy, which I've never done before. But I
ASMR.
just
Literally
Can't
no
hear?
sound.
But it's one of those bracelets that's like, have you seen the trend where you get like your family's eye color?
Yeah.
This one's for me and Bryce
Oh,
and our
that's
family.
cute.
Our whole family. We have his, mine, Luna's, Griffin, Ripley's.
I
Put 'em on here.
love it.
We were gonna make them together for our anniversary, but we didn't get around to it, so I made them myself.
That's so cute.
Thank you.
Ooh, I want to do that now.
Okay, I have a lot of beads. You can have some.
Okay.
Yeah, I got them.
Got
Don't
him.
worry.
Jared's eyes are very blue.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
Okay, let's end the episode and go get the Hunger Games book now.
Okay, it's time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. 11-minute episode.
Can you imagine? Do you have any slash and slays?
Unfortunately, I do not, because I have not read or watched anything of note.
That would count
I've just
in the
been
slash and slays.
I've just been working.
She's a working girl.
So hard, and like, I mean,
She's a
I'm
working
reading a
girl.
book
Yeah.
and reading multiple books, so if they don't count as horror. So I did purchase my friend Mika Rain, shout out. I don't know if she listens to the podcast, but she just follows us on everything.
Okay.
She I got her book. It's called Wolf Mountain,
Okay.
and it's supposed to be like a horror, like romance.
Ooh.
So
I love a horror romance. I think
I'll
that's
let you borrow it when
Yeah.
I'm done.
When you're done, please.
I know it has some spice in it, and I've also heard that it's like really weird, but in like a good way.
I love that.
So
Yeah,
I'm
that
excited.
sounds
She's
really good.
she's like very supportive of me and
Aw.
all my stuff I do. She's listened to all my books, and she's left me very sweet reviews. And
How sweet.
so I was like, I really need to read one of her books.
Yeah.
She has a bunch, and then she asked me to narrate one of hers in the future. So
That's so cool.
yeah.
Oh, that sounds so exciting. I'm gonna have to follow her.
Yes. So it's in my mailbox. I just gotta go pick it up.
That's half the battle.
It really is.
It's right
Such
over.
a walk.
So far
away. So yeah, unfortunately, I don't have any slasher slays. Don't even think I watched anything of note. So that's unfortunate. 2 weeks, nothing.
It's okay. You're a busy girl.
Busy. I'm way behind on my book reading, but
Yeah, it's okay.
it's whatever.
I am kind of in my fantasy era, which is so weird.
Love that for
Never
you.
thought that would happen. I don't know if I'm in my fantasy era or just like this particular book that I really liked. It's a series of 4 books. It is, I don't know what the series overall is called. Maybe the Nightbringer series, but it's An Ember in the Ashes. Is the first one by Saba Tahir. And I remember when it came out like 10 years ago, and I wanted to read it so bad, and then I was just like, I just never did. And she's come out with new covers for like the 10-year anniversary.
Oh, fun.
And they're really pretty, and they have like the bindings all like make a picture.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and it's so pretty. And
Fantasy covers, I will say,
yeah.
are the most
They're so pretty.
gorgeous things.
yeah. And there are always some weird like Ash of the Night of the Serpent of the Queen name, whatever. But I really do like the titles of these because we have An Ember in the Ash. And they do say like you are an ember in the ash because of the certain reason. You understand why they're described as an ember in the ash. It deals with a lot of like genocide, and I really think about it as like Hunger Games meets Dune meets like Harry Potter-ish.
Okay.
But it's really its own thing. It's just like set in a Dune-like landscape. So a lot of dust and sand, desert. That's what I'm thinking. Desert. The first book has trials.
Okay.
and it's trials for this like school where it's like a soldier school where they become like the biggest like the best soldiers, whatever. And the main guy doesn't want to be one of these soldiers. His plan is to graduate and then desert. Ooh. And he's gonna run away. But he got chosen by like the oracles of this world, basically, which they're called something else, but to fight in these trials. And he has to fight against his like best friend and these two other people, and it's like evil trials, like Ooh. Kill your classmates, like yeah, and whoever wins is going to be the emperor of the whole thing, whatever. Oh, wow. And his mom is like actually evil, Satan, and they think that the
don't spoil it too much.
No, I won't.
I might want to read these.
Yeah, no, they're so good. But the main girl that we follow, this is not a spoiler, it happens in the first chapter. Her brother is taken away, and she wants to find a way to get him back. And so their paths, her and this guy who's doesn't want to be a soldier anymore, their paths cross. So I read the first one, and I was like, oh, so good. And then, was it on, I guess last Monday, I was traveling back from Florida, and I started the second one around like 10 a.m., and I had read like 80% of it by the time I got home. And they're fantasy books. They're big, like thick. Almost 500 pages. Yeah. And I was like reading. And then I didn't read for like, that feeling. I know. I was like obsessed. But then I didn't read for like a few days because I was so behind on everything. But I didn't read anything at all. Like I just couldn't. But hopefully I'm going to finish it in the next, I was trying to finish it before tonight, but I literally have like 10 more pages, like not that many pages. Like not gonna happen. Yeah, not that many more pages, but obsessed with that. Okay, I'm series. So the next one is
how many? Four. There's four.
There's four. A Torch in the Night, something like that. Then Reaper at the Gates is the third one, and then the fourth one is something else. I don't remember, but also they're big books. And she has them for $13.99. Yeah.
Where?
At Barnes & Noble.
Really?
Yeah. She kept them like the same price.
Even the super nice covers?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta get on those.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I'll show you when we go.
Like, hey, can I buy another book as well?
Yeah, can I actually buy this one as well? I think she did just come out with another book that takes place 20 years later, I think. It's called Air, and it's new. That came out this year. But I don't know about that one. So, I don't know anything about that.
I don't know anything about that.
I don't know anything. But I slay.
Okay, I love that. So I've been wanting to read a new series. I have not read a new series since Darcy Coates' whatever series that is.
Usually I don't like really, I don't know. I used to love series when I was like younger, but I haven't found anything like that. And like, honestly, I'm glad I didn't read this when I was younger. I think too. But honestly, when I was reading the Hunger Games, I was like, this shit is dark. Like, what the hell?
Dark. I was in
this stuff was dark.
Yeah.
Like, if I had read this 10 years ago,
right,
when I was like 16, I'd be like, well, I don't understand that too much, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, yeah, this is probably like happening. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I slay that. I also read the audiobook, Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica. It's a mystery. Full of red herrings.
Yeah.
And
full of like,
I don't want to say that it wasn't one that made me mad like they were tricking us.
Right.
I think that there were like subtle clues. Not that I was looking for them or anything. Like, when I read these stupid mysteries, I'm like, whatever. Like, just tell me what happens. Or thrillers, whatever. But it just was was not my fave. It's basically about this girl who's been missing for 11 years. And they find her. And she's back. And the dad is so happy because the mom apparently committed suicide by stabbing herself, which is not a thing.
It's not
usually a thing. Yeah, not usually a thing. Anyway, all this stuff happens on this little corner of this suburban area, and it's from all these different people's perspectives, and it time jumps, and you see, it's a typical thriller that reveals little by little. It just wasn't that good to me. I think that it was very repetitive with dialogue. I think the dialogue was very repetitive. I think you could have wrapped it up pretty quickly, and it wasn't a very long book.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna slash it. I don't have much to say about it.
Yeah.
It was fine. It was fun. But I wouldn't be like, we have to read it.
Right.
Yeah. But I'll slash it. And then today I reread, because it's only 2 hours long. I just listened to it on audiobook. Small Things Like These by Claire Keegan for St. Patrick's Day. I wanted to read that. And it's about the Irish Magdalene houses and the scandal with all those that happened. So it was so sad, and still one of the best books I've ever read. So good. And I want to watch the movie with Cillian Murphy.
Oh.
It just came out this last year, but I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't even heard of it.
Yeah, it's kind of underground.
It's kind of like
It's kind of like you wouldn't get it.
You wouldn't get it. You wouldn't know.
Movies. We saw a documentary. It won the Oscar for Best Documentary or Foreign Film, something like that. But I think Best Documentary. And it was called No Other Land. And it was playing at this like indie theater in Dallas, so we went to go see that. And it was probably the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life. It's about the displacement of Palestinians and the Israeli army coming and tearing down all of their homes because they have to have their training facility there, apparently. And then how it was mostly focused on this one guy who was really trying to make a difference because he lived there. And he befriended a Jewish journalist who came and was trying to help. But, people from the village didn't like him because they're like, your people are doing this.
Yeah.
And, all this stuff. It was fantastic. Very good. But also super heartbreaking. It ended right before the war began. So they stopped filming right then and then.
Yeah.
They tacked on a little bit about the war starting and how it was eventually released that the reason why they were doing this wasn't for like military training or anything, but it was just to prevent them from like spreading.
Right.
So.
Of course.
Yeah. So I've been really tempted to like talk to people in my life about it and say, so there's this like town in Montana that has been there since like 1830, and these people like grew they lived there their whole life, and now these Canadians are coming and tearing down their homes and saying that it has to be a military ground, and they can drive their cars wherever and get to do whatever they want. And oh wait, did I say Canada, Montana? I'm so sorry, I meant Palestine, Israel.
Because they'd be like, oh my god,
they would be like, that's horrible. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what's being done?
Yeah.
How can they do that?
And I'd be like, yeah. And then
like, actually, I'm
so sorry. I can't believe I said that.
Slipped.
Yeah.
And because
of all of these injustices, a group of people in Montana started this, uprising that it's very horrible. Like, I do not agree with all of the danger, and they're taking hostages and all of this stuff. But they've just had enough. They don't know how else to get attention. Oh, sorry. Did I say Montana? Sorry. Palestinians. So yeah, it was so good though, Slay. But after it ended, it was like you could hear a pin drop. Everybody was like, it was so rough.
Yeah.
But then I got a cookie.
Yeah, then I got a cookie.
Yeah, those are my slash and slays.
Okay. Sorry, I don't have any.
Now for a slash and slay that's been long overdue.
Long overdue. Like 2 months overdue.
We finally...
I literally got it before my birthday in January.
Yeah. It's okay. It's fine.
I literally probably 2 months ago.
But... who's calling me right now?
Who?
My sister's FaceTiming me.
Oh.
Okay. Hey, Karis. Anyway... we are going to talk about Grady Hendrix's Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. I thought I was not going to be able to say that.
Emily literally, I said, what should we talk about today? And Emily said, WG.
No, WF, WG. Oh my gosh, my sister won't
said
stop.
WFWG.
WFWG. Witchcraft
for
Wayward Girls.
She said WFWG, and I was like, what the fuck does that mean? I was like I was like,
decipher.
Women. I could not figure it out.
For.
And I just said, huh? And she's like, oh, sorry.
LOL.
LOL.
Sorry, LOL.
Yeah, so that's what we're talking about today. I completely forgot that it was even on our radar to talk about.
Yes, we need to talk about it. It came out 2 months ago. We are not going to delay reading The Hunger Games like this, I don't think.
No.
No. I started this as soon as I got it.
Me too. Pretty quickly.
Yes. But unfortunately, it took me a while to...
It took me over a month to read it.
Yeah, it took me over a month to read it. But I did, read other things in between.
Yeah,
I think
same.
I just, kept putting it down and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But for those of you who are not familiar, we love Grady Hendrix.
We do.
Most of the time.
And I think, it's good, our relationship with Grady Hendrix is good because it's, we're not, he can do no wrong.
Yeah. We know
it's not like Rachel Harrison up in this bitch.
No.
It's we know he can have some hit or misses, in our opinion. Because he does, and that's fact.
Yeah.
But, so I think we come into it a lot more objective.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because I think he does improve every time in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, I think I might have had a little bit too high of an expectation because I thought, I loved How to Sell a Haunted House.
Yeah.
And he does seem to be getting better and better every time. So this one's going to be great. And not that it wasn't, but I think it just took me a minute to get into it.
Yeah. It was thick.
It was
thicker.
Big.
And so basically, if you don't know, it's about, hold on 1 second. Hold this mic.
I'll hold the mic.
Hold the mic and double speak.
Okay. Oh, are you going to get the... I should have brought my copy because I had a whole bunch of...
I did want to read a quote, too.
Oh, yeah. That's what I wanted to do. Oh, yeah. The ending, honestly, the last, probably 8th of the book, I almost dog-eared every single page because I was like, ooh, 8, yes, slay.
Okay,
read the synopsis for us.
I read synopsis. There's power in a book. They call them wayward girls, loose girls who grew up too fast, and they're sent to the Wellwood House in St. Augustine, Florida. I think we could do this professionally or something.
Well, usually you have your whole equipment.
I do. Where unwed mothers are hidden by their families to have their babies in secret, to give them up for adoption, and most important of all, to forget any of it ever happened. 15-year-old Fern arrives at the home. It's really hard to read because the words are small. In the sweltering summer of 1970, pregnant, frightened, and alone. Under the watchful eye of the stern Miss Wellwood, she meets a dozen other girls in the same predicament. There's Rose, a hippie who insists she's going to find a way to keep her baby and escape to a commune, and Zinnia, a budding musician who plans to marry her baby's father, and Holly, a wisp of a girl, barely 14, mute and pregnant by no one knows who. Everything the girls eat, every moment of their waking day, and everything they're allowed to talk about is strictly controlled by the adults who claim they know what's best for them. Then Fern meets a librarian who gives her an occult book about witchcraft, and power is in the hands of the girls for the first time in their lives. But power can destroy as easily as it creates, and it's never given freely. There's always a price to be paid, and it's usually paid in blood.
Good job, audiobook narrator.
Thank you. I can't breathe.
Good job.
The angle I was sitting.
Yeah, good job.
So basically what it said.
So basically what it said.
So it follows Fern, or Neva,
Neva.
as she's known. When they get there, each girl is given a name by the Miss Wellwood. And it's like a flower or a plant.
Yeah, because they're her garden.
Yes, and she's growing them or whatever.
I would hate to live in that garden. That's for damn sure.
I will say, the way he describes the heat is good. It's good. It's good because I was like, ugh.
Yeah, not looking forward to summer.
Throw up.
Yeah. And then when I was in Florida last weekend, ooh, it was muggy.
Yeah.
I was wearing a satin, silk dress. You could see my boob sweat in all the pictures.
Ew.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Disgusting.
Nasty. It was nasty. And I was like, it's literally March.
Yeah, and they didn't have air conditioner back then in the 70s.
And pregnant? Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what her baby's due date was on my birthday?
It was.
Yeah. I was like, okay, witches.
Okay.
I think in hindsight, thinking about the book, it's not what I expected, but it's what I should have expected from Grady Hendrix, because he has very quiet supernatural books.
Yes.
I think. They happen in this one location usually. Doesn't really affect anybody on the outside.
Right.
Very quaint. And nothing's ever really a happy ending.
True.
You have some sort of happy ending, but it's not any way you thought it would be, and it's not a storybook.
Right. It never is in any of his books.
No, and I always expect, maybe this one will be good. Maybe this one will be happy.
Oh my gosh,
maybe she'll get everything she wants.
Maybe everything will happen the way it's supposed to.
No. Never does.
Yeah, so the whole first half of the book, I would say.
Couldn't tell you what happened.
It's I would say the first fourth of the book is just getting into this house and meeting these girls and getting the routine down that she goes through every day. And there's a lot of visceral stuff in it. She's 15, she doesn't even really know how she got pregnant.
No.
I mean, she knows was
that one girl, Zinnia, when she came?
Yeah.
Oh, that made me so sad. She was like, she thought birth control was plan B, you take it after. Yeah. And they're like, no, you dumbass, you just take it. And she was like, oh, well, no wonder. Poor thing. Yeah. Because there's no sex education in schools.
Right. And so even when the doctor was first giving her an exam.
Yes.
Just how traumatic
that
was.
Yeah. When listening to, I had my first exam from a OB-GYN by when I was 21.
I was 28 when I had my first
you were too old for that for sure, but I remember that for you. I remember that for you.
You should knew me when I got my first exam.
Yeah, I was like, oh girl, you need to go. Girl. Yeah. But I just remember prying my legs apart. You gotta open your legs. And I was like, I literally can't.
She was like, sorry. You have to relax.
Yeah, I was like, I actually can't. Sorry. Yeah. So I can imagine being 15, strange man.
Not knowing what is even.
And the comments they made, the certain, backhanded being shouldn't be a problem for you to open your legs. Right. The evil things that they said.
Horrible. And it's just it's gut-wrenching just knowing, these girls having to go through this. Is real stuff that happened, having to go through this, and then just the men that just knocked them up, just getting to go about their lives.
Yeah, that's insane.
And they don't get any comments to them about keeping it in their pants.
No, they don't have to go anywhere for 9 months.
It just angered me,
or not know anything, not be respected at all. So the only thing that made me happy in the whole book, I think, is just the friendships that she made. Yeah. And I think that there's a special kind of magic that does happen in specifically, I'm not a boy, so I don't know boyfriend group thing, but I feel girlfriend groups are a little bit witchy.
Yeah, there's a magic to
magic, them. Especially
there's had to be. There has had to be.
Yeah. So I always feel I love those kind of friend groups and things like that, especially when there's all the contrasting characters and there's always one person that's kind of the ringleader, and everybody looks up to them. And like Rose, I really liked her character.
He had really good like character distinctions.
Yes,
and they were very you knew who they were.
Yeah,
pretty quickly.
Very quickly. Yeah, by this like very like from their dialogue and their reactions.
Yeah, even just like the other girls that were like not part of the core group.
Yeah,
yeah.
And for being a very kind of, I don't want to say like slow, but it was a bit of a slog at the beginning.
Yes. Just because you're like kind of waiting for something to happen. And even when she gets the book from the librarian,
which is almost halfway through.
Yeah.
If not
it's
more.
Like, it's just like, okay, now you have to just like, no, read it. She's like, I don't, it's just like.
She's like, I don't know how to read it.
I don't know how to read it.
And then it's like, all right, in 2 weeks she'll be back. And then she still doesn't know how to read it.
Right. And then she's like, well, do this, try this. And she's like, okay, I still don't know how to read it.
And then in 2 weeks she still doesn't know. Like, it's just like, it takes a while for it to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Things
I do think that,
happening.
especially in, I don't know. I think throughout the whole book, there's a lot of like action, like physical action.
Yeah.
I feel like they're always doing something. Like the girls are always cleaning. They're always cooking. They're always going here. They're always doing some witchcraft for some reason. Mm-hmm. You know, like trying to do some witchcraft. And then in the latter half, they're like going here, going there, hiding here. I don't know. It was a little all over the place at first.
Yeah.
I think especially when, I get the once we get into the, I don't know. I don't think that some of it was needed because I know Miss Wellwood was evil from the first moment. I knew Rose was this way. I knew how the cook was, and I knew.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the scenes were like to show the character, but it's like, but we already know the character. Because you did a good job with the dialogue. You did a good job with this thing here that we didn't necessarily need this scene to show this character acting this way.
Yeah. I wish there had been more of the little, like, witchcraft things they did, like, with the doctor.
Yeah.
Like, if that would have started earlier.
Yes. And kind of, like, built a little bit more.
Yeah. And I think that if they would have realized, like, themselves what the witchcraft was doing instead of like we don't want to do it because of the price you're asking, not like because we don't want to inflict this pain on people, it would have been a little different.
The
stakes were a little strange because I kind of forgot about them.
They were because the librarian was like, this is your coven. You have to do everything with these girls. And, like, they all signed or whatever.
And you have to obey me forever.
Yes. And then it was like, and then Zinnia was just like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not part of it anymore.
And that was it.
And she didn't have to be a part of it anymore.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know.
And then Rose was like, I have to have my baby.
Right.
And then she was just gone.
Yes, exactly. It's like, after Rose, like, had her, like, when Rose was going to have her baby, I was like, how could Rose go have her baby and be gone? They haven't done anything. As like,
I know.
As like they did one thing. Quickly. One big thing was the thing they did on Miss. Well, they did it after she had her baby. Yes. The thing they did on Miss Wellwood.
Mm-hmm. So the only thing they did was the Zinnia, like nausea.
That's it.
Yeah, and they visited the coven, or that was after. Yeah. So literally nothing happened. Then she went and had her baby, and also the stakes with the librarian. She was like, "I'm sick." And you're like, "Okay," and then she's like, "I have to have a new person, and it has to be you."
Right.
Like, why? And then like kind of forgot about that for like the fourth of the book, and then she's like, "I'm still sick, and you need to
do what you said you would do."
Yeah, and she's like, "What the hell are you talking about?"
She's like, But I would say the second half, at least, like, when Fern goes to have her baby, that's when it really takes off. Well, like, leading up to that. So, right when, like, the cooks put the, like, give them medallions to wear.
I wish they had been in it more involved in the beginning.
Me too.
Like, I kind of liked their attitude, and, like, it was very crass, like, in a, like... They have some boundaries.
Right.
But they're like, I'm not going to let these girls, die. But I really liked them.
Yeah, me too. But that scene where she was like literally going into labor and having the medallion.
At that one girl. She was like, I just need the salt because they wouldn't give any of them salt.
Oh yeah.
And so she picked it up off the ground.
And lets them in.
Yeah, she let the witches in. But yeah, when she's literally going into labor, when the witch is like,
yeah, and it was that was scary.
Yeah,
that scene was like really creepy.
Oh my god, the whole birthing description.
Whole birth.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Absolutely horrendous.
It
just
made
like
my heart break.
And it was so sad. I was crying because it was just so sad. It was sad. Like stick her in a closet, literally.
Shave her down for no reason.
She doesn't know. Like they're not telling her anything.
They immediately treat her differently when they're like, she's a Jane Doe.
Yeah.
Shove her back there. And then she's like, this one lady kind of looked like my music teacher and I really like that, whatever. And then she's evil.
Yeah.
And there's only one kind of nice person in the whole experience. And then the witch comes at this like very vulnerable time when she's like in the worst pain of her life. And she's like,
because they would not let them
yeah, she was like, you can't.
The
yeah, and they're like, don't be all weird. Like, you just take off the medallion. You can't. And then the witch is like, I found you. So that happened, and it just sounded like just the worst thing ever. And then she just
and then her baby, and then they got like ripped away from her.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you know, just what they do to like convince them, which it's like, it's a convincing argument.
Yeah.
But it's just so sad because like that. It's like, it's not their fault.
No.
Just not their fault.
I know. And I was thinking, like, reading the foreword and the afterword and everything was what really, like, got me to cry more than anything. And because it's, like, all real. He was talking about his, like, aunt went through it and everything. And I'm like, what could have been the alternative? You know, like, we don't want to be like, it's okay to get pregnant if you're a teenager and it's fine. Like, everything's going to be paid for and you can decide, you know, whatever you want and change your whole life. But why are they treated so horribly? Why are there no repercussions for the men? And why are the choices made before and, like, promises made to other people before you can even, like, fully process and understand? And there's no advocates or, like,
for them.
Yeah, so they, like, I get that they're minors, quote unquote, but it's like there should be like special situations, you know what I mean? Like,
and it is like they're like, really, if you want to talk about bodily autonomy, like they had absolutely none because they're minors and like their parents just signed their body away essentially.
Yeah. And even when she's like, please don't, to the girl, like, shaving her.
Yeah.
And she's like, stop your whine. Like, she literally, like, was saying, no, don't do that.
Right.
And it didn't matter, you know? Like, or don't, you know?
And, of course, like, because it, like, switches to, because they take her out. They put her out.
Oh, I had to skip that
and it switched to the doctor's point of view?
Yeah, I had to skip that page.
Yeah.
That was rough.
Yeah, because, of course, you know.
What usually happens, and I can't do it.
Stitch.
Oh, yeah. I skimmed.
Gosh, just like...
That's disgusting.
Sick. Just, the whole thing was sick.
Yeah.
And then, of course, then you have Holly.
Oh, God.
Holly's birth.
And her situation.
Oh, my God. She was maddening. She was... abused.
She's been abused for the last 8 years, 7 years by her pastor, and it's his child. And he actually comes and he's like, I'm going to adopt this child. It's because this crazy little church boy got you know. And then he had to move, but it was literally the pastor.
Yeah.
And it's so heartbreaking because Holly doesn't talk until she finally does whenever they're like doing their little witchcraft thing, and she's like, she has come to terms with like her trauma and what happened to her, and she can like handle it. Obviously she's coping through being silent,
right?
But the thing that she's like, he's gonna want to do it to my baby, and that's all she cared about. And she's like, I'll become a witch, I'll do anything,
That's what most of it was them trying to figure out how to help Holly.
Yeah, and Zinnia was like, well, we're going to do this and this and this and this.
Yeah.
Or we're going to tell this person. We're going to blah, blah, blah. And that moment when Holly said that...
She already told?
That the first person she told was a social worker.
Mm-hmm.
And the social worker did nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That made me sick.
Sick.
And it's also more sick because it's like, Grady Hendrix didn't make this up.
No, this is real. And it fucking still happens to this day.
Yeah.
Literally the last fucking week.
Yeah.
Anyways, we brought that all down. But the big scene at the end with the Storm.
Yeah.
Where she cuts her tongue.
Oh.
Or she stabs her tongue.
Yeah, that was absolutely nasty.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine a worse pain.
Mm-mm. Besides, I guess.
Too.
Right?
No, I mean...
I almost think
it's
not as bad.
I don't know. I haven't done it.
Either
one. And I pray neither one comes
I pray I don't have to stab my own tongue.
That I never have to stab my own tongue or have a baby. The curse of having a child. Yeah, that was a lot of very descriptive, very visceral.
Yeah, it was very.
And
it literally destroyed the house.
Yeah, good as it should.
And talks about the picture of the Miss Wellwood's father just getting destroyed.
Yeah, I hope he rots in hell.
Right.
And even though they tried to make you feel a little bad for Miss Wellwood,
I did not feel bad for her. It almost made it the fact that she had been through it made me. Yeah, I was
you hypocrite, motherfucker. Yeah. I'm very cussy today.
You hypocrite motherfucker.
Yeah. And she she went through that, and you're letting your trauma being Daddy will never be proud of me again.
Right.
Affect all of these girls' lives when you could
make it a better situation for them.
Yeah.
You could be kind. You could be understand. You could I don't know, just
talk to them about what happens.
One-on-one, a person.
Don't just shove them to the doctor's office and be well, now you can,
forget.
Don't eat any salt.
It's it never happened.
Yeah. Yeah, and they just want them to forget and pretend it's never happened.
But that's you can't.
Suppress.
Right.
And it's not fair to the babies. It's not fair to the mom. It's not fair to anybody in the situation. The fact that they can't contact each other afterwards,
right? But I do like how it was very at the end were able to.
Yes, yeah, the ending was sweet. It wasn't the happy ending.
It wasn't the happy ending because.
But Rose got her happy ending. I think.
Rose got her happy ending.
Maybe in a different way.
Zinnia got hers, right?
Yes.
Holly.
We don't know.
But seemed like it. And then Fern
finally got to meet her baby. Her little Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Which was so cute.
So sweet. I was crying. Okay, should I read this?
Yes, read the quote.
Hold on. I might cry.
It's so good. I also do all the little excerpts from the magic books.
Yes, I did too. I'm trying to figure out where I am. So basically it's a letter to her daughter.
Yes.
At the end.
She writes a letter to her daughter after getting inspiration from Rose, right? Or did she write it and then go to see Rose?
I can't remember.
She writes a letter to her daughter being I'm 42 now or something
right.
like that. But I am glad that... Because I don't remember, did they... on the birth certificates, what did they even...
They would... Well, she got to put her name...
Yes, she wrote it really quickly.
She wrote her name quickly, and so...
She got in trouble.
But most of the time, they write Jane Doe.
Yes.
So they don't even know who their mom is.
Yes.
But this... You need to know about Zinnia and Rose and Holly and even Fern. You need to understand. You need to know what we did, because no matter how young we weren't girls. We were never girls. We were witches. And now I'm free.
Oh.
I like, literally was like crying. I'm still crying right now.
They weren't girls. They were witches.
They were witches.
They created life. That was witchy enough.
And then she got to be free at the end.
Yeah. She finally got to know her Charlie Brown. And she got to confess everything. And that's like what the thing is. Like, they don't talk about it. They can't.
They
like
told
tell them, don't talk about
suppress.
And there needs to be a healthy way to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, come to terms with it. And,
right.
I don't know. There just has to have been a better way.
Absolutely.
They don't care.
They don't care. And there's a better way.
The person that cared didn't really care that much.
Right. No,
didn't care enough.
And, I mean, there's still a better way today.
Yeah.
And it's gotten better, but it's not all there.
No. Now we put it on TV and make money off of it.
Right. Capitalize on everything.
Yeah, we have to. But I was a lot of the time putting myself in their shoes.
Me too.
When I would do it, I'd be like, oh, okay, well, I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
I would probably kill myself, honestly.
Right.
That would be my,
probably just lay out in the sun and bake, like, just take me out.
To
like
death, yeah. Before I could even get there.
Right. I would jump out of the car.
Yeah. And it made me really sad for, like, the dad trying to pretend nothing happened. And she's like, I realized that he needed me to say something to make it okay that he did this to me.
Right. Like when he, like, dropped her off and she said, promise. Oh, my gosh. She's like, promise that you'll, like, say goodbye. And he's like, I promise. And then he just fucking drives away. And she's, like, screaming, like.
And the only thing he gave her was, like,
his
wedding ring, and not because, like, here's a comfort for you.
Yeah.
They might treat you better in the hospital if you have it on.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you care about that?
Right.
Then you're gonna make me do this by myself?
Right. With these strangers, like.
With no consent, like, no information. All she wanted to know was, like, the reason why she turned to this, like, witchcraft was, like, she just wanted to know if it was gonna hurt.
Right. Because they would not tell her.
They wouldn't. They were like, it'll be fine.
It's like, no, just you'll get knocked out and, like,
you'll be fine.
You won't feel it. You won't feel a thing. She's like, there's no way.
Yeah, she's like, I've heard that this person's mouth split open from screaming.
Yeah, and then the one girl who, like, had the miscarriage or the baby in the toilet.
Yes.
Yeah. It was, like, blood everywhere. I was just like.
Yeah. And she's like, yeah, that definitely had to hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. And that's all she wanted to know. She just wanted somebody to listen to her.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's, like, if you use it as an analogy for turning to things like drugs or, like, and alcohol and things like that. Like, you just need something, some sort of comfort or something that will listen to you. And that's how you get with, like,
right,
people that don't have your best interest.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't know anything. I'm just tired.
Anyways, guys.
Of this world.
Me too.
But thank you, Grady, for another book that it's like whenever you listen to an album and you don't like it at first, but then you listen to it again and you're like,
wait a second.
You knew what you need. You knew what I needed. This isn't what I wanted, but it's what I needed.
Right.
And I did not want that book, but I needed it.
I agree. So, Slash the first half, Slay the second half.
I'll slay both. I'll slay it all.
Overall, because you can't have the second half without the first half. So.
No, I think we eventually got to the journey. I think we needed to go through that.
Yeah.
It's his vision.
We respect the author.
We respect Grady. What do you think his next book will focus on? So we have...
Well, this first one was like, what, a rock star?
Yeah, I never finished that one. It was
Me
pretty
either.
bad. Final Girls. Also,
it was like the devil rock star.
Yes,
devil thing.
we sold our souls. Final Girl support group. Not the best. Yeah.
My best friend's exorcism. Yeah.
So we have a little demon exorcism.
So we have like some demon
slashers, demon
slasher, demon, vampire, ghost
puppet
thing,
ghost puppet, Haunted House, and
Witchcraft. Demon.
Are we missing one?
I don't think so.
No. Horror Story, IKEA.
Oh, that was also like
That was also pretty
demons.
bad.
That was crazy.
Ancient Burial Grounds.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah. Witchcraft. Maybe we'll have a werewolf.
Yeah.
A werewolf or a zombie. Zombie was kind of horror story too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But whatever.
A little bit.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Hopefully we can see him again.
Yeah.
And get our book signed.
One of these days.
Yeah. Our 3-year-long escapade.
Oh, gosh.
But anyway. Well, guys, wish us luck as we go and fight our way through the Hunger Games.
Fight our way for our books. What if they make us fight to death for our books?
I'll kill someone.
I will. I'll kill you for this book.
I'll kill you for Hamish. We're not joking. Anyway.
We're not joking.
Join us for our 100th episode.
Yes, guys, we're going. It won't be next week, and it won't be the week after that. But it might be the week after that.
April 1st.
April 1st, our 100th episode.
And that's no joke.
And that's no joke. The best joke there was.
And that's no April Fool, you fool.
So good.
We love you guys.
We love you guys. Follow us on Instagram at /SlashandSlaypod.
Or on TikTok at slashandslaypod.
And join us. Or actually, don't join us. But listen to all of our past episodes to catch up.
You probably have time.
You 100% have
In
time.
99 hours.
99 hours. Not probably less than that, because not all of our episodes are an hour.
No,
so.
but we do have a few longer ones when we watch the movies.
True.
You don't have to watch those if you don't want to watch
If you
the
don't,
movie.
yeah, you'd have to watch a movie, but you can if you want.
You can if you want.
All right, guys.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Bye.